so far.
I just messed up again. The audio was muted and like I forgot to unmute it, but we're good now. I'm so bad.
God,
I'm
bruh.
so bad right now, man. There we go. Okay. Jeez. But yeah, we were just mentioning Peaches. It was amazing. But
Going back to you were talking about the opening act of the movie, how it started. I'll be honest, as someone who just a huge fan of Nintendo in general. Like I had a feeling it was probably going to start how that teaser trailer began because it just seemed like that. And when you saw the fireballs and you see the airship coming down and you hear Bowser's airship,
that
it
at
got
least
absolute.
that made it better.
That was so
Yeah.
cool. And I don't know if you guys are just able to pick up on these musical references, just on a whim. But whenever he's walking up to get the Power Star, you can hear a rendition of the final boss theme from Super Mario Galaxy. And as a person who just loved Super Mario Galaxy, I was just like, oh my goodness, they're actually putting this in the movie, and it
That's
was just
really
awesome.
cool.
I got chills.
I didn't
I got
notice
chills.
that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
score as a whole in this movie was like phenomenal.
it's very
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the subtle remixes and stuff of a lot of
Yeah.
the classic, Nintendo jingles and stuff like that. But the one thing with the soundtrack though, like some of the pop songs I was not down for.
I actually have the list of the songs that were in the movie that were just regular songs. And the first one especially that they showed in the movie, like the scene was great, but I was like they might have used a better song, which was Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, when Mario and Luigi were going the whole headed to do their plumbing, and I was like, they might have possibly could have used something a little better there. I don't know. What scene was it? I don't know what song it was they used for the Mario Kart thing when they were building their carts, but whatever they
Thunderstruck.
was it Thunderstruck for that one?
Oh, that was stupid.
It was so silly. Like it's funny because when they first get there, you hear the Mario Kart menu theme or whatever, do 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 do, and it's cool. But then I don't know, it's weird. Like it worked when you seen Toad with his big truck. It was like, oh, that's cool with Thunderstruck. But outside of that, it was like, I don't know. And then there was also go ahead.
Like Take on Me, like on the DK area, I was like, what the hell is this? Why aren't we doing like a Tropical Freeze remix?
Yeah.
Those songs are absolute bangers, and they just left them out of this movie. I was like, what are you guys doing?
I wonder if it would have.
You don't even have to remix them.
Do you think it would have been cheaper or more expensive for them to just do original Nintendo music though, over like for the rest?
It probably would have been cheaper because they didn't have to license it from like these super huge companies.
That makes sense.
Which is like
over half.
Illumination. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say over half of the movie at that point you'd already heard Nintendo music from over half of the movie at that point, so there's really no point in putting this other stuff. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was just out of place.
And they used No Sleep Till Brooklyn by Beastie Boys. I don't remember where they used that either, but it was kind of weird. I don't remember where they used it.
I don't know. All of it was just kind of bizarre, and it's like it kind of just took you out of the mood, and it was like, oh, this is an Illumination movie, because they do that with like Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets, all that kind of stuff. They're big into these like poppy songs, and they kind of work for those movies because they're like that sort of thing. But when you have an immaculate library of just whatever the hell music you could possibly want, it's like why not use what you already have and pay less for it? Because that's what Illumination is all about, cutting costs. So like I'm surprised.
Yeah, I think the movie costed like only $100 million to make or something, which I'm surprised by. I mean, that's a heck of a budget for a Mario movie, but they're making bank. Oh, they're making big bank. I wonder how much they're gonna make second weekend. They're still probably gonna make a ton of money. There's families who can't.
They're gonna definitely pass
a billion.
A billion for sure.
Yeah, it'll be the first billion-dollar movie of the year, hands down.
I think one of the biggest this movie has going for it is the fact that this is a movie you can see again and again and again, and honestly just not get bored, because for the Nintendo fans, they want to go again to see, oh, I didn't get all the Easter eggs. I want to go back and see if there's anything else I can find.
Yep.
And so that's another thing too, because I see a lot of like, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the critics' reviews of this. Like, clearly this movie was made for Nintendo fans first.
Yeah.
Like that's really what this movie was made for. if you like a lot of the critics who bombed it clearly didn't play Nintendo.
Yeah, there was one lady that said something, and she got a lot of hate for it on her YouTube channel. She said something. She was like, "Why are they making Mario a furry?" Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Stupid.
been in the
That was
games for
dumb.
over 10 years, over a decade. Like, hello.
Do you not know about Super Mario 3D World? Uncultured.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
that's
been
why.
over a decade. Like,
I think I
You
know.
know, there was one critic that said it was the worst Illumination movie ever made.
Oh yeah, that was so stupid. I was like, have you watched their other movies?
that's ridiculous.
They
Exact.
the only thing they put out usually is crap, and this was like one of the. This and the first Despicable Me are the only good movies this
Yeah.
studio has ever
Mhm.
put out. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I probably
And, like,
agree.
I don't know. I thought.
Have
it was
any
so
of you
dumb.
guys ever well, Miss Josie, I know you've watched Shea Froler's productions, but are any of you, Nim and D-Man, are y'all familiar with Shea Froler's productions?
I don't think I am, unfortunately.
Hey, you'll have to link
He's
it.
a YouTuber.
Okay, you'll have to link it to me.
He ranks a lot of animated movies, mostly Disney, DreamWorks, yada yada yada. He did a ranking of pretty much all the studio's animated movies.
When it comes to
he's really
when it comes to
funny.
animated movies, I think this is the most fun I might have had since Wreck-It Ralph. Like the first Wreck-It Ralph, not Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Me
I don't
too.
know, because Wreck-It Ralph was the same way, where there was Easter eggs everywhere. There was all these things everywhere that you could nitpick, that you could pick out and find, and the soundtrack was fantastic. Just a fun movie. Like, I've
Oh,
seen Wreck-It
yeah.
Ralph so many times, and it still can be pretty fun. And then I watched the second one, and I'm like, it's okay, but it's not as
Oh
good.
come on, the princess.
That's
scene
that's
when
the
they all
best
come
part.
together is
That's
kind of a hype
that's the
moment.
best
You really
part.
did
Yeah,
see him in the movie.
that's the best part of the movie, hands down. The princesses,
Kidding.
like it absolutely is.
Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
this was just a lot of fun. And the thing is it's structured just like the Mario video games, because, you know, Mario video games, there's barely any story. It's all gameplay. It's all action. This movie's straight up action and comedy. That's pretty much
Mhm.
all it is. There's not a lot of exposition, not a lot of character development, not a lot of any real like big connections and stuff like that. But what there is a ton of action and a ton
Yeah.
of fun. And then like the final battle of every Mario game is kind of underwhelming. You hit Bowser on the head 3 times and you're done with it. And that's
Yeah.
essentially what happens in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was funny because it's structured almost exactly like those 2D games, which is not
Mhm.
bad. I mean, it's honestly a good time.
I will say one of the things I did not expect to happen is for them to go immediately back to Brooklyn and everything just from the
Yeah.
Mushroom Kingdom just immediately go back. That was something.
Yeah, I
That was
wasn't
something.
expecting that either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was very unexpected. Although not to immediately kind of change the subject a little bit, but one of the characters that just had me and my sister laughing just all over the place was that depressed Luma. Oh my gosh, that
I
was,
knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
the name.
that was hilarious. Just as they're lowering the as Bowser's lowering everybody, just as he says to Peach, "I'm gonna sacrifice them in your honor." The Luma's like, "Yeah."
It's like the sweet relief
Yeah.
of death. It's like,
Oh
dang.
my god.
That's probably why we were
Just-
expecting Rosalina cameo maybe or something, but it's like no, not yet. You
I
thought?
was expecting Rosalina to possibly appear at the end.
Yeah, but instead we
Like,
got
they were gonna tease her at the
Yoshi.
end, but they teased- We got Yoshi,
Hey, that's totally
I
fine.
feel like they
who's
kind of
just
teased
5
her.
member Steelers for some reason.
I feel like they kind of teased her because like Peach was like, "There's a huge galaxy out there," and then there's an
Mhm.
actual Luma in the movie.
yeah.
So it's like in the second Mario movie, she's probably gonna make an appearance.
It made me think too
Which
when
is
she
like
said there's a
notable
huge
coming.
galaxy out there. Do we think that like the Legend of Zelda and Metroid is in there and stuff? Like this is all reference towards a Smash Brothers someday kind of thing, where they all fight Master Hand.
They better be.
Maybe.
They better be very careful with how they do Zelda and with how they do Metroid. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
They better be
think
very, very careful. And when it comes, and honestly, this is gonna sound really crazy, but I feel like if they do a Smash Brothers film, I feel like that is years
Oh, yeah.
away, like years and years away. Because the two reasons they got to start building what they call people are calling the Nintendo
Yeah,
Cinematic
yeah, yeah.
Universe. That's what people are saying.
Mhm.
You know, and to do that, you've got to establish these other IPs in film form, but also when they finally announce that hey, there is a Smash Brothers movie coming, you know Sakurai is going to want to be involved with that. I've heard from, I don't know if you guys listen to Kit and Chris's podcast, but I've heard from them that when Sakurai was working on Smash Brothers Ultimate and even Smash Brothers for Wii U, like when he was working on that, it almost caused like really detrimental problems to his health,
Yeah.
and it really just wrecked him.
Mhm.
And so I, I think in terms of like making a Smash Brothers film, probably near impossible. That's just me. I don't honestly. I
It,
hope
it
for
well
it,
well
but
the thing is
I-
I think that it might be hard if they only use Illumination. They'd have to use multiple studios, which I don't know if they can do that to be able to.
I don't think they would
Yeah,
do that.
no. So it, like you said, it'd be many years
Because
away.
Once,
No?
yeah, I also think that when she's referencing like there's tons of galaxies out there, I was just thinking like, oh, Mario Galaxy. Like she's just
Yeah.
referencing
Yeah.
like other Mario stuff. So it's like even if we don't get Metroid and Zelda, which honestly I'm not sure if I super want, but if we get like a probably spin-off Donkey Kong movie and then maybe like a spin-off of like other Mushroom Kingdom Mario universe stuff, like I feel like that makes more
Mhm.
sense than a Smash Bros movie. And a Smash Bros movie, like you guys were saying, to work, I think it's got to be at least like a decade away
Oh yeah.
because they have to build out stuff and hope to. I mean, honestly, I wish they would just give the whole like Nintendo IP to Disney because Disney would pump those things
Yeah.
out like a
Yeah.
maniac. And the thing is that Nintendo would be there to make sure that they're putting care in it. It's not
Mhm.
gonna be like the Star Wars stuff
Yeah.
that we're getting, but and I just think that their animation and a lot of their resources are just better and more than Illumination.
Mhm.
But it's just a side thing.
Yeah.
the one thing I feel like why Disney and Nintendo probably haven't had such a joint connection is because, you look at Nintendo's history. Nintendo wants complete control when it
Yeah.
comes to anything, whether it be movies, games, hardware. They want complete control, and I guarantee you, if they were to try to make something together, I feel like it would just be a battle for control for the two of them.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
because Disney's the exact same way. They need all the control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I totally.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they went with Illumination because Illumination's just like, oh, you're gonna give us money, you're gonna give us our IP, we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they don't have any really thing marketing them as a studio aside from like.
I think it might be like every 2 years we get something. Like we'll get a Mario 2 probably, and then after that maybe they'll do a Luigi's Mansion kind of thing or a Donkey Kong kind of thing. You know.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna build out with stuff like that.
I would love a Luigi's Mansion
Yeah.
movie. Like that one scene with Luigi in the forest.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was really cool. Like, I was like, I got like Luigi's Mansion movie win.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that would be
Yep.
amazing.
Plus, Charlie Day is phenomenal. He's like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He
Probably
is.
my
He-
favorite.
He and Jack Black were the best performances.
yeah,
So
yeah, he was my favorite in the entire movie, voice cast wise.
for the family characters, the directors of the movie said the reasons why they had them in the movie, and they said that we wanted to have them at a lively family dinner scene, so it's like, well, we need a bunch of people who would be there. Mario's mom and dad, he was going to have a couple of uncles who were like, breaking his balls. Those are his dad's brothers. Uncle Arthur, played by John DiMaggio, and Uncle Tony, played by Reno Romano, and his Aunt Mary. Mario and Luigi's niece and their grandfather are also there, ribbing the plumbers about their new and already nearly failed business venture and the costumes that they wear. Huh. So, they had their parents, obviously, their niece, their grandfather, and their two uncles. I think that was definitely cool of them.
I thought that was
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool of them to do that because I don't know. I didn't know Mario and Luigi had like family. I mean, I haven't seen the old movie in ages, and I don't really want to if they had family in there. That movie's awful. Funny enough, my dad likes that movie. He's like, it's funny. He doesn't know like anything about Mario. He doesn't play video games and stuff. He's like, I liked that movie. It was funny. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, I'll admit it's kind of a jokey movie. It is kind of funny, but no. But I did like the old live action TV show they did. I thought it was kind of funny where Mario and Luigi had to do some plumbing stuff and junk. I haven't watched that in ages, but it was fun stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
thought the
those.
addition of the family made a lot of sense because you got to build out characters for film a little bit. It's
Mhm.
like we can't just have these nothing character. Like, not that they're nothing, but like you know, in the games and stuff, they're not going to build out this whole backstory when the whole focus is gameplay. In movies, they got to focus on that stuff a little bit more. So I think it was cool that they sort of built it out, and they thought it was hysterical how they gave him daddy issues, which was so freaking funny. But they like just never came back to it. They were like, yeah, my dad, like I want to make my dad proud. And then at the end, his dad was like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, wow, full circle moment there. Illumination, good,
Yeah.
good one.
The
But
whole dog sequence with the dog, that was amazing. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And
that was a leftover
Yeah.
asset from Pets,
honestly,
for sure.
like how
Who
does,
else fought
but
the-
for real?
Who else fought the
Go
dog?
ahead. Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, I was gonna say, who else fought the dog with like Doug from Up?
From Up?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit.
Just-
Doug from Up, like animated by
thinking-
Illumination.
Hmm.
I was either thinking that, or maybe that was supposed to be some kind of callback to Duck Hunt. I don't know.
There was a duck. Wait,
That's
wasn't there? I think there was a duck hunt Easter egg in the movie somewhere, but I don't remember where it was. And then there was
Yeah.
a actually we'll get to Easter eggs. But how does a plunger work on a dog's fur? Answer me that question.
That's a good
I don't think it's possible.
movie magic.
Yeah, movie magic. Yep.
Illumination.
Yep.
They have their own laws.
So, I will say my favorite part of the movie is in the second act. I really liked the Rainbow Road sequence. I just really liked the Mario Kart sequence.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes.
For me, it would have been a lot better if I hadn't seen the trailer.
I didn't watch the
I
watch
got
the second trailer, but we knew it was
Yeah.
in there. Unfortunately.
I
Mm.
think that final trailer was a little bit unnecessary, in my opinion. I think that whole reason that they had
Agreed.
I think that the whole reason Nintendo did that was to basically say, okay, tickets are on sale now, go get them. Which they could have just tweeted about that. I mean, honestly.
In this day and
I
age,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, they did that for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
They tweeted that a gameplay showcase was going to happen. They could have tweeted that tickets were on sale for the Mario movie. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
But
So, well, we talked a little bit. What was actually? Hang on, let me talk. Favorite character. Favorite character and why?
I liked Peach. I thought she was kind of a baddie.
Yeah.
I think it was a great showcase of her, which there's a lot of people who were like, oh, they turned Peach like into, just
Like a girl
which is-
boss.
yeah, girl boss, which was dumb because it's like Peach, I don't know, she has her own game where she's she's a beast in Super Princess Peach on the DS, and
Mhm.
there's comics of her being, and it's like everybody's like they want her to just be kidnapped in the classic Mario story, but I thought she was really cool, and her like weapon thing was sick.
Mhm.
I don't know,
That's
and
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
that
yeah.
sequence where she just kicked butt in the wedding chapel, iconic. That was so good.
Yeah.
I like that they basically paid homage to Odyssey with the whole wedding. The whole
Yeah.
wedding.
You know, the voice actress of Peach even actually pushed that to be like something they do in the storyline, supposedly, or something in the writing to kind of change Peach, being not like "Help me, Mario" kind of thing.
Yeah, Anya.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
What do you think, Nintendo Memories?
Who's your favorite?
yeah, it's really hard to pick. I thought, for me, I really enjoyed Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. I wish we got to see a bit more of him, honestly. I mean, he was kind of there to, like, guide Mario to Princess Peach, and then after that, he's just kind of there along for the ride, and then you really don't get to see much of him really beyond that. I just kind of wish we got to see a bit more of him. I will say an underrated character that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about was, I forget the actor who plays him, but whoever played Kamek did a really good job. I was
Yeah, that was
really
hysterical.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
who's that?
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed Kamek, even though Kamek really didn't have much to do either in this movie. But
Except for B. Bowser's little sister.
right.
Jen, who's your favorite?
Well, this is probably gonna sound biased, but Luigi was definitely my favorite. Mainly because Charlie Day, he was a really good pick for Luigi, and the thing that really kind of disappointed me was that he pretty much got sidelined after they got separated when they went for the warp. I really wanted to see more of him. Yeah, Charlie Day did a really good job voicing him, and um, that's really all I gotta say. I thought after seeing the full movie, Chris Pratt's Mario voice honestly kind of grew on
Hmm.
me. Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did fine.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all.
No, not at all. I really think the only character I don't know if it was you, Josie, or someone else that said Cranky Kong's voice was no, it was someone else. I think it was Jeremy John's
Yeah.
review or something. He said Cranky Kong. He feels like should have been a little more older voiced, like a little more old and cripit.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I
My
would say, too.
favorite-
I think.
I heard Schaefer will say that.
My favorite is Bowser. I don't know, man. I just love Jack Black, and love what he did in that movie,
Yeah,
man.
he's
We all do.
Oh yeah. So
But whenever he's not, I will say, when it comes to Jack Black playing Bowser and just how they handled Bowser in this movie, when he's not singing about Peach, I will say, they really made Bowser feel like a threat in this movie. And that's something I feel we haven't seen from Bowser in the games in a long time. Like for example, Bowser's Fury is like the recent like open Mario game that we've gotten since Mario Odyssey. And while Bowser is like big and giant and big and mad, at the very end he's just like this, goofy guy who just wants to, he's still going after Mario, but he doesn't really feel like I'm gonna destroy the people of the Mushroom Kingdom. He never has really felt like a huge threat, and I really like from the very opening of the movie, whenever like we saw him come down and he just absolutely wrecked the Penguin Castle and he took the Power Stone. I'll tell you another part that really just kind of reminded me just how big of a threat he is. Whenever he kidnaps Peach, go figure. Whenever him and Kamek are down there and Bowser's like, "Will you marry me?" And she's like, "No, I'm never gonna marry you." And he has Kamek basically torture Toad, until she basically surrenders. I'm like, "Wow, I haven't seen Bowser that threatening since Super Mario Galaxy." I mean, I hate to go back to that, but like
Yeah.
Galaxy, honestly, Bowser has not been as big of a threat as in a long time. Honestly, he's just kind of been there for
Yeah.
kind of comedic relief, in my opinion.
which thankfully there's comedy there with Bowser, of course, but like they did it in the right ways. They didn't really like go over the
Right.
top with it or anything. What is your favorite side character and why?
Favorite
Toad.
side character? Yeah, Toad, easily.
Yeah, is he like?
He was just, I don't know, the voice was really good. He was like good comic relief. I think that they didn't like overdo it with him either. I think it's so easy to overdo comic relief characters, but they kept him pretty tame, which made the jokes that he did make even more funny, in my opinion. The other one of that would be probably Donkey Kong. I really like Donkey Kong, but I think that I don't love Seth Rogen as him. That's was my kind of one complaint about the voice actors. I just think he's just Seth Rogen, which is a little hard to focus on because it's like I love Seth Rogen in Neighbors, but this is not the guy from Neighbors. So
Who
I was
else
just a little
laughed when he
distracted.
did the Seth Rogen laugh?
That was really
that
went hard
yeah,
today.
that was good. Seth Rogen's a little. I don't know. It's so weird that the cast. Man, I'll never forget Arlo's reaction to the cast. 'Cause that killed me. Arlo was dying so
Oh
hard.
my god.
That was funny.
Yeah. Favorite cameo.
Going back to.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna talk about Josie, you were talking about Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and you brought him up, but Donkey Kong and Mario's clash in that arena was also a really
that was really
amazing sequence to watch. And that honestly, I've seen a lot of people describing that as like they were like testing the waters of what Smash Brothers might look like on the big screen. That kind of felt like it, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Especially
and
when he
it's-
like side kicks him midair. I was like, oh, not the side air.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, that like
What was it?
that had to be Smash.
What was your favorite cameo appearance?
Punch Out Pizzeria was sick. I don't know if that counts, but
Which one?
I guess that's more of an Easter egg. So I'll go with Pauline. Pauline was cool. She was cool to see.
Uh,
I didn't think we were gonna get her.
Pauline, I forgot.
Oh, actually, scratch that. Two. This kind of to, and it was at the wedding when King Bob and King.
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, whoa, was not expecting that.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I was
and then
like,
when
I'm
King
sorry.
Bomb his thing catches fire, it's like, oh shoot.
Yeah, and then Peach brutally murdered him.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's probably just Diddy Kong. I mean, he had the bongo drums. I just thought it was pretty good.
That was
as
cute.
well.
That was funny.
Jen, do you have a specific one?
You pretty much named them all. I can't think of anyone else. I think
There was Dixie Kong too.
King Babam was. I didn't see Dixie Kong.
She was next to Diddy.
At least I don't remember.
Yeah, she was right. Yeah,
she
she was right
was?
next to Diddy.
But go figure.
Hmm.
Go figure. Yeah.
Well, another, I would say, you know, I don't know if you could call this like a guest, like a character or whatever, but like Charles Martinet voiced like the original like Jumpman character at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh
caught-
yeah, yeah.
So there was that, and then he voices Mario's dad as well.
Yeah, which I didn't actually notice
Yeah, I
that
found out
until.
about Mario's dad later.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until after I seen the movie, and I'm like, oh, he was Mario's dad. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Wait, did Chris Pratt voice Mario in the commercial that they did, or was that Charles Martinet?
Oh, it's Chris Pratt.
Oh, it was Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that.
I thought Chris overall did a really good job. Like his voice didn't try to oversell it, nor did he try to undersell it. I think his voice just Mario was able to be Mario on screen, and his voice just kind of amplified the character of Mario on screen that we were watching. And so I really, Chris did a really good job, and I think everybody on the YouTube space owes him a little bit of an apology, myself included.
Oh yeah, everybody does for sure. I mean, it's Chris
I
Pratt.
mean, the thing is like, he was good, and I did really like him in that film. But it was like they really got to take like the worst voice clips of him and throw them in that trailer because in the trailer he was so fucking bored. He was
Yeah.
I
like,
know.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. But then in the actual movie, you know, he brings a lot of life to Mario, and he was really good. But I was like, well, kind of the trailer's fault. They completely undersold him.
He's
Right.
not exactly the best voice actor, but he is a good actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He has a lot of experience, but it's like the only people he's ever played really is himself. It's like he played Emmett in the Lego Movie, which was
That one was pretty solid.
Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
essentially.
And he did
was
he
really
did
good.
that Pixar movie too with Tom Holland. I can't think of the
Yeah,
name.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
That
really
was a
good.
good
He
one.
did
Yeah,
Onward.
Onward. Yeah,
Onward.
that was a good one.
He fit that character pretty well, but again, that character was mostly just Chris Pratt.
It was just his voice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I was like super pleasantly surprised with Mario. Like
Yeah,
you said, Nintendo
me
Memories.
too.
Everybody, yeah, like you said, everybody deserves him an apology because I mean, Chris Pratt as Mario, no one could picture that. That doesn't sound right. Like until you.
Exactly.
I know it was probably too soon for them at the time, but I think what should have probably happened is when Miyamoto announced in that Nintendo Direct, however long it was, that cast list, they should have maybe included some small little teaser, like the tiniest of teasers, so we could get a sense of what these characters would have been like on screen. And I think they would have people would have had a much better reception towards them, because I remember as soon as that direct happened, people just started being like, "This is the worst cast list ever. I don't know who these
This
people
movie's gonna
are.
be
Chris
awful."
Pratt, really? He's playing. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like.
Well, and then they didn't even say that it was animated. Half the people thought it was like a live action
Yeah.
thing with
Yeah.
frickin' Chris Pratt. And I was like, Jesus,
Like another
guys.
hop.
Mhm. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is favorite ability shown in the movie and why?
Cat suit.
I was sick.
Let me think. That's rough. I think, honestly, I enjoyed the very end of like whenever Donkey Kong and Mario are both going at a bunch of enemies in the Mushroom Kingdom. When Donkey Kong has the fire flower and Mario has the regular mushroom, and then he gets the Tanuki suit, and they're both just wrecking people. Like
That was sick.
That was really
That was
cool
sick.
to see.
I loved that. That was really cool.
Yeah. I also like how they handled like the invincibility power star towards
Yeah.
the very end. That
Very
was
Yeah.
really
Oh yeah.
The rearrangement that they did for that was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I think I would completely agree with you. Nintendo Memories. That's probably my favorite too. And I also really liked that, like, when Mario and Luigi were going for the Power Star or the Superstar at the end, the way that they ran with their arms out and stuff, just like they do when they're like zooming and Mario, was hysterical. But the animators were so on point with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My
And speaking of like,
no, I was just gonna say my favorite one is probably the mini mushroom. 'Cause as soon as I seen that go in Mario's mouth, I'm like, oh, like oh boy, here we go.
Oh crap!
Go ahead, Nintendo Memories. You say something?
yeah. Oh, something that just kind of really got me a little emotional at the very end, my first time seeing the movie. Me and my sister were watching the credits roll, and because we knew there was going to be a post-credit scene, and we were seeing through. But I really liked how they included Nintendo President Satoru Iwata at the very end of the credits, because this is the guy who formed that joint conjunction between Nintendo and Universal. He's the true reason we have Super Nintendo World and how all that transition into that kind of medium got started. And this is the guy who started Nintendo Directs and everything. So it was just, I don't know, just seeing his name in the credits I thought was just really nice, you know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very wholesome.
That was like a very sweet note to
I'm
end
glad
on.
they put that in there. Absolutely.
One thing I want to note about the credits, they never credited Grant Kirkhope, and that made me so sad.
And who is that?
Who is that?
Do y'all know who Grant Kirkhope is?
Mm-mm.
He's a music composer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like a
he-
whole thing. I mean, it was like disappointing that they didn't do that at the same time. I feel like it's not like it sucks for him because I know it's like hard. You
I
know,
feel
you want to be
terrible for
credited
him.
so you can get work and you can have this as your portfolio and stuff like that. When you're not in the credits, it's not
Mhm.
easy. But I was pretty on the outside of that conversation, so I'm not super strong on any opinion with it. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
I wasn't like fiery mad or anything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
favorite act of the movie and why? Of the 3 acts.
Favorite.
Yeah.
The second act. Well, is Donkey Kong and Mario the second act?
Yeah.
I'd say it's right there in
Yeah.
the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
would
so
say that
like I
too.
loved that part with them basically doing Smash Bros. With that fight, and then I just thought their relationship was pretty funny, like as it kind of blossomed. And I loved the part when they were both in the cave, which I think that's at the end. But when they were both in the cave, and Donkey Kong's like, "Yeah, my dad's not proud of me either," and Mario was like, "Well, my dad's not proud of me," and they were like, "Well, let's just not talk about it." And then they didn't, and then at the end of the movie, both of their dads were like, "Son, I'm proud of you." I was like, "Wow, Illumination, you guys absolutely got that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd probably say my favorite act of the movie, probably just from the Mario Kart section all the way to the end, was amazing, because it really felt like the pacing of the movie really kicked into high gear from point on, because it immediately from that point, because after whole long like that battle between them and Bowser's minions on Rainbow Road, you know, they get captured, and then Peach immediately goes back to the Mushroom Kingdom and tells them, you gotta get out, and then they're trying to stop Bowser. Comes to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's like it keeps going, and it doesn't stop. It felt like a Mario roller coaster, honestly. From that
I was
point.
listening to
Honestly.
the Nintendo podcast with Wood and Bob, and they were talking about how it literally feels like a Mr. Beast video, because it just kicks in and it just zooms and doesn't stop, and there's like jump cuts and like super fast editing and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, absolutely on point. YouTube editing all the way into Super Mario Bros. Movie
Yeah,
was kind of
yeah.
crazy.
So here's a question. Do you think it's possible for them to manage like a Mario Kart movie? Would that be possible with a story?
No, there's not enough story there. I mean, like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna make it like an F1
Yeah.
racing drama.
Death
that's
race.
the most that they can do there. Yeah, I just feel like that it wouldn't work, and I don't think that they would want to do that, because it was cool in the movie as like an Easter egg.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, or like a big Easter egg, but I just don't. think it
Honestly,
makes
I
sense.
kind of feel the same way about a Smash Brothers movie. Like, how would they make that work?
Subspace
Subspace
emissary.
Emissary.
That's all
Yeah.
they do. That's all they
Yeah,
do.
yeah. They'd all become
I
trophies.
guess, yeah.
Now, I will say, if you want to get, critical and kind of, if you want to have a starting point for a Mario Kart movie, hear me out here. Mario and Luigi, when they went to that warp pipe, you saw a bunch of other interconnected pipes, right? Let's just say, what if they get sucked into a warp pipe and end up in F-Zero world, and suddenly they,
You know,
yeah, I don't
honestly,
know.
that would be kind of a fun idea. Honestly, Mario and Luigi just end up in these other worlds, or something. I don't know.
Captain Falcon. But in order to get out, they have to beat Captain Falcon. There you go. Boom.
Solid.
If they want to make the thing is, if they want to make a Mario Kart movie, they're gonna have to expand on the characters because we're
Oh,
gonna need to
yeah.
know their backstories, the reasons why they want to win this race, all that kind of stuff. And that is not the type of stuff Nintendo wants to do. They're gonna be as basic as they can, and if it's like, I
And
don't know, if it-
you could tell that they were trying to be as basic as possible because, like, we figured out a little bit how Peach became Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, Mario's like, "Oh, how'd you get here?" Like, and he's like, "Well, I don't really know where I'm from. I'm just all I know is like I arrived. And the Toads took me in, and now I'm the princess."
yeah,
Hmm.
there are like absolutely no backstory. Like, I don't know, just not how Nintendo rolls.
Honestly,
think
I don't know
that'll
about.
work.
For some reason, my mind wasn't thinking we'd see Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. I don't know why, but Baby Peach definitely not.
Oh,
That was cute.
Yeah, that was a good little thing.
that like called me a baby, but I really like when I saw it the first time. That part kind of made me tear up a little bit. Just seeing Baby Mario stick up for Baby Luigi, I was just
That was
like,
cute.
that's just
That,
cute.
that just made me smile.
Hmm. The whole movie really made you smile.
Then again, I was smiling. during the whole movie.
Exactly.
I'm smiling.
So,
That was
Yeah.
big question: what could they improve? What could they have improved on, and why? That's kind of a hard one.
Script, actual story structure.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this movie as a film, it's like, oh Jesus, because it is just one
Yeah.
big mess of action, which I
Mhm.
loved.
Yeah.
But like, this is why the critics didn't like
Mhm.
it. There's not a lot of depth with the characters, and there's barely any story. So it's
It's-
like if they're gonna improve this, I gotta get some more backstory, some more like reasons as to why these characters are connected. Why
I would love,
like their motivations and stuff.
I would love to see Peach's like family. Like childhood, like
Yeah.
what, like I get that she ended up there, but how? What happened? We didn't see everything about what happened with Peach, so like, it'd be cool to kind of see her family. Like, oh, they lost her or something, and now she's gone. I don't know.
She crawled into a warp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me though, like I know a lot of people had some gripes with the story. For me, I honestly didn't have much of a problem, and I think the reason why is because I expected this movie to be a Mario game on screen. I kind of
Yeah.
went into it with that expectation, and it's kind of what we got, just with kind of the people getting kidnapped swapped. Instead of Peach getting kidnapped, it's Luigi getting kidnapped, and Mario has to go save Luigi, and Peach has to save her kingdom. They get together, they go on their adventure, and it starts at World 1, and then it ends at Bowser's Castle. That's kind of what I was expecting that we were probably gonna get, and that's what we got. And I expected really nothing more. That's why when we saw that flashback of Baby Peach and we saw that flashback of Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, I had no idea we were gonna get that. I had no idea they were gonna go there.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I totally.
I
agree.
wanna know where Bowser Jr. was, because he wasn't in the movie,
Hmm.
or like the other Bowser Jr. characters, where they all at? They weren't in it. So, like, you've seen those vehicles, but you
I
didn't see them.
think that they balanced.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like they balanced the film well for the amount of characters that they had because they had a bunch. So I guess if they were to improve, in my opinion, because I really like character studies, so I think that if they were to like dig deep into like Donkey Kong or something for the next one and do a big character study of him, but they're gonna have to give us a lot of, exposition, a lot of backstory to him, and I think that would probably make it the most interesting to me.
Mhm.
And it'd feel like more of a movie, and maybe the critics would actually enjoy it because it'd be more traditional. In that
Yeah,
way.
I wonder if anything was cut from this movie, or like how much was cut. I'm curious on that.
I'm sure there was like probably almost an hour was cut out of this movie because we even see like in the trailers extended scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
And I think I'm really interested to see, because like you can go ahead and like pre-order like the Blu-ray for this film already, and I'm really interested to see like if they include any deleted scenes. I mean, I know normally, I'm sure Illumination would normally include deleted scenes in their films. I'm sure, like Despicable Me, I'm sure they did that. But like, this is Nintendo we're talking about. This is their IP. I don't know if they want extended scenes of their stuff. I don't know. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like they would be like, no, that's our.
Well, I do
pretty
think
good.
when they do a sequel of
Worth
some
it.
kind, that the sequel will be longer, probably 2 hours, since this was around an hour and a half, I think. So
Right.
probably at least around 2 hours, because this movie's making so much money as it is that they have more money to work with for the sequel, and they know the sequel's going to make even more money than the
Yeah.
first one is, probably even. And everybody's gonna go see it. There's so many Nintendo. This movie's money making proves how popular Mario is as like the second most popular fictional character behind Mickey Mouse. Really, I mean, and you
Right.
could. I don't know if there's any other fictional characters as popular as aside from Mickey Mouse under Mario. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think that this film was mostly just like a proof of concept. It's like people are interested. We have a lot of, we're making our money back and more so that for the next one or the next few that they make, and I'm sure there's going to have spin-offs with Donkey Kong and all that kind of stuff because this
Every
movie's going to
character
sell.
should get their own
like,
spin-off movie.
Yeah, it's going to do so well
Mhm.
that they're not going to want to slow down.
they didn't.
So as a proof of concept, I think it works really well, and I think that's probably why it was pretty bare bones.
Yeah, they didn't have to include Donkey Kong and the Kong universe even in this movie, but they decided to do that for a reason, and the reason is because they want to expand, and they're clearly going to do a Donkey Kong movie at some point. I wonder if it'll just be called Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
That's my guess. It might just be called Donkey Kong Country.
Probably. Say, because I know Josie, you said you're a really big fan of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. One of the things I thought I was thinking of you whenever we were watching the movie, but whenever one of the mechanics of Tropical Freeze is like Donkey Kong can like kneel down and like blow on those like
Yeah.
dandelions. Whenever he blew out the fire flower, I was like, oh wow, that's kind of an interesting call.
Oh.
Yeah, I got that too. That was so funny.
I really should replay that game at
It's a
some
little
point.
soft.
I only played Tropical Freeze once, and that was like 4 years ago, maybe 5. It was a while ago that I played that game.
I played it 5 times. I replay it every.
Isn't it? Yeah, isn't it your favorite game of all time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of all
that's
time.
awesome. Excellent game.
It's very replayable.
Yeah.
It is very replayable.
What characters do we want to see show up in a sequel?
Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes. Hands down.
I'd love to see a spin-off of Wario and Waluigi.
You know-
just like a burglary movie or something, like a heist
Mhm.
film, but starring them. I think would be so
That'd be
freaking
cool.
funny.
Interesting. That'd be really
What?
That would be really cool. Daisy's another one that we didn't mention wasn't in this movie at all.
yeah.
So, I don't know where she
Mhm.
might be, just hanging out at home somewhere in the Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe she's not in the Mushroom
Not
Kingdom.
ready to date Luigi yet.
She might not be in the Mushroom Kingdom. She might be in the other world or something.
I mean, she came from Sarasa Land.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
y'all play Super Mario Land, that's where she
Yeah.
came from.
right. I will say, not to. I know we'll come back to characters in a second, but one of the things I also really appreciated with this movie is the throwbacks to the other, just the brief appearances of the other areas from other games. Like we got to see a little bit of Bob-omb Battlefield and Toast Arena from Super Mario Odyssey. Like that was
Yeah.
really cool.
And the desert. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was the map too for I think Super Mario World or Super Mario World Advance. The one on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
I remember.
There was the map in the background.
That was really cool. And the little Yoshi world for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For like
Mhm.
1 second, flashed on screen.
1 second. Yeah.
Okay, so this is perfect. We can get what's your favorite Easter egg / reference and why. Like there's a lot.
I loved the Punch Out, or not the. I loved the Jumpman arcade. That was probably the most basic one, but I just thought that was so good, and I thought it was super funny how they like actually made Jumpman a character and not
Mhm.
Mario, and it was voiced by Charles Martinet. Like that in of itself is a whole Easter egg, and yeah, I just thought that was really good. And like, I also really like when he's playing Kid Icarus. I just thought that was super funny. I was like, what
Yeah.
a random thing, even though Luigi's holding a cell phone in his hand.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'll tell you one part that one of my favorites is when they get that call to go fix the plumbing issue, and it's the GameCube startup. That
Yeah.
was one of my. That was
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah,
favorites. That's one of my favorites.
yeah. That I
That's in a Doja Cat song. Do you guys know that?
huh.
Um,
Who else didn't it say there?
Not Doja Cat
I
fans?
don't
You guys
know.
are outed. Come on.
yeah. Sorry.
Jen, favorite Easter egg or reference?
Probably the Kid Icarus one.
I was gonna say that. That was gonna be mine. The NES, him playing the Kid Icarus. That was unreal. That was unbelievable.
Honestly, that's the only one I could think of. I don't remember any. I remember the Punch Out one, like barely, but yeah, the Kid Icarus one.
There was
my
one of
favorite.
there was a sign or logo for what's the game with the kid with the balloons? You could play the arcade machine in Animal Crossing.
Balloon Fighter.
Is it Balloon Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Balloon Fight.
It's
That's the
Balloon
name.
Fight.
Yeah. There was a reference for
Yeah.
that in there as well. But the NES thing, yeah, that was.
I didn't catch that one.
Yep.
Wasn't there an F-Zero poster behind his bed?
I
as
Was
well?
there?
So I think
Yeah.
so.
And there was
Yeah.
on his TV or whatever. There was the Star Fox ship. Yeah, like a little figure.
Yeah.
That was really cool too.
That's what I had the most fun with in this movie, was just like searching for all the Easter eggs.
Mhm.
Because once we got in his room, I was like, oh my god, and I was having the best time.
Yep.
And I think that's why this movie is doing so well, because this movie clearly, like I was talking about earlier, this movie is clearly a love letter to the Nintendo fans. That's really,
Yeah.
and to the people who grew up with Nintendo, who grew up with Mario, they're definitely gonna get, oh, that is Pauline on the news channel. That is Kid Icarus on the screen. That is, oh wow, there's King Bob-omb and King Boo. That's really cool. Oh, that ringtone. Oh my gosh, that's the GameCube startup screen. Like, people clearly are gonna pick up on these things. Regular critics who haven't played the Mario series, like, okay, that's just a phone call ringtone. So who's that woman on the screen? I don't know who that is. Like, but Nintendo fans, like, I went and listened to Game Explain's review for this, and how geeked out they were to see some of these references. And then I go hear some of the regular critics who've never played a Mario game before in their life, and they're like, well, I like that girl y'all were talking about. I forget her name or what her channel, but I think I know who y'all are talking about, who just completely just trashed this movie. Like, oh, like Mario and Luigi's like relationship feels so forced, and I'm like,
They're
They're
brothers.
brothers.
weren't they?
brothers, what are you talking about? So, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so.
So, what would our ratings be for the?
Did you guys
What?
know that Pauline? Did you guys know that Pauline was actually voiced by Kate Higgins again?
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just looked that up. I wanted to make sure it was her, and it was. Lo and behold.
the whole city really reminded me, like where they grew up in, really reminded me of. It just gave me Mario Odyssey vibes of the city, you know.
Yeah, it kind of.
Yeah, we don't-
Yeah, and I'd love to see the hat, Mario Odyssey hat. I'm losing the Cappy.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Cappy at some point. I don't think it would be to like like the third movie or something. I don't think it'd be in the second at all. But like, there's just so many characters, because like they're probably gonna. It's like oh, there's Daisy that they can use. Oh, there's the Bowser Jr. and his family they can use, and then oh, there's also Rosalina they can use, and the whole space adventure there. And it's like, there's just so many characters that I don't even know if we'll get to Cappy till like a fourth Mario movie, like.
Well, I tell you, a perfect setting for number 2 that they could bring Bowser Jr. into is if they did kind of. I know this is not everybody's favorite Mario game, but if they were to take the plot of Super Mario Sunshine, where they go to.
I'm sorry,
Volcano,
that's my favorite.
Maybe something happens.
That's my favorite.
great. I love Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine's great.
Listen, man, that was one of the first games I ever beat in my life was Mario Sunshine. My older brothers could not beat that game. I still have a hard time with that game. With those levels when you don't have FLUDD, it's like, I still get mad at it. Some of those levels. Flood would be
Those are
Flood
fun,
would
though.
be Flood would be an amazing Easter egg. I don't think they'd make Flood a character. Like they'd have to do like I don't think they I don't know. I think it'd just be like an Easter egg kind of thing. I don't think they bring in Flood as a character.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like if they were to take the story, like they go to El Delfino, maybe they win like a vacation or whatever, and it turns out to be a trap set by Bowser Jr. maybe, and he's Shadow Mario, and he has the paintbrush, and it would be really cool. Just like they took the plot there.
Honestly,
It-
Yeah, I agree. That would probably be the best Mario game to take the plot from, honestly, because it's the one with the most story.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they could take the galaxy route and take it to outer space and Rosalina and the Lumas and all.
Which is very
the
possible.
possibility.
It's endless. It really is. Like, what kind of abilities do we want to see in the sequel? I want to see Metal Mario. I think Metal Mario would be so cool to see. I don't. You'd have to really think on
Cloud Mario.
Flower. Wait, what Mario?
I said Cloud Mario or Rock Mario. From
Oh,
Galaxy
okay.
2.
Galaxy, yeah.
If they go the Galaxy route, they'll probably do that. I mean, we're already gonna see Yoshi. I wonder if when he rides Yoshi, if like the music's gonna kick in, the Yoshi tunes, like the way the music changes when he rides Yoshi in like Sunshine and stuff. You know, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And Yoshi's just eating apples along the way.
Yeah.
Just happens to find.
My question is, who are they going to get to play Yoshi if Yoshi has actual dialogue? So, I mean,
He better
I
not
don't
have
think
dialogue.
I hope-
Yoshi's
yeah.
I'm gonna be
I hope he
pissed
doesn't.
if they give Yoshi a voice. That's
Yeah.
just dumb.
Yoshi
That's-
shouldn't.
that's fair.
I feel like Yoshi just shouldn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's Nintendo. They probably gonna get an.
That's why I was saying before. I'm like, if they do a.
No.
They can.
Go ahead, Josie.
I was just gonna say that they could give him a nice, like a cute personality by animating him cleverly, which they had
Mhm.
really nice animation in this film. So I feel like
Mhm.
they could give him a funny little personality, just silent character, but
Yeah.
or just say like Yoshi.
Yeah.
And they might have hinted the direction they were gonna go with Yoshi, because if you watch that post-credit scene all the way through, when the egg does hatch, you do hear Yoshi speak.
Yeah.
And so it very well could be they just go with his game sounds and that's it. So
Yeah.
and that's probably what they should do.
It's probably best, honestly, especially if there's
I
if
agree.
there's so many characters, considering they're gonna add more characters in the sequel and stuff. No, that makes complete sense. It'd be funny if like at one point like Wario and Waluigi, if they were in the movie or something, they like see a Yoshi, like one of the other like colored ones, because there was like so many, and one of them tries to ride one or something. I don't know, it's just a little goofy thing. Maybe that'd be too goofy and over the board, over the top, but I don't know. Waluigi and Wario, I them working with Bowser or something, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do next. I don't know. The possibilities are endless, like you said. I want to see Steel Mario though. I want to see the steel ability. Really bad. Him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Honestly, even.
They could do.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know this kind of falls in line with the same category as like the Tanuki suit and power-ups that allow Mario to fly, but for him to use like the wings that he gets on his hat from Mario 64, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool too. Honestly, I think like in Mario Odyssey, how you could change costumes and there were so many different costumes. I think it would be really cool if they gave Mario other costumes as well outside of the abilities to like use at different points. Maybe, I don't know, for specific things, or like the Paper Mario ability. Honestly, I think that's the ability I'd love to see most is Paper Mario. Like something happens where he turns into paper. I don't know, like goes into that world and he's paper.
Yeah, if he's just like shimming through walls and stuff, that'd be hysterical.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be sick. Speaking of, there's them rumors of Thousand Year Door coming back. I don't think it's true. No way.
That's trash.
No way.
That sounds so good. So of
Get
course
my
it's not
hopes
true.
up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Like,
It's too.
This is gonna be
I
like.
tweeted that, and I was like, no.
What do you mean by Thousand Year Door coming back?
for Switch.
There's like rumors that it's gonna be ported to Switch.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a remaster.
Yep.
Now, I will say, if they start doing the whole Metroid Prime remaster thing again, but it's this game, I'm gonna be not happy. I'm just be like, shut up. Just shut up and let Nintendo confirm it.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, until Nintendo confirmed Metroid Prime remaster, I was so mad at the leakers who were just
Yeah,
saying
me
it's
too.
Yeah.
coming,
I just
it's
stopped
coming,
believing.
it's coming, and I'm just like, shut up,
Just
shut up,
shut
Yeah.
up.
please.
No one cares.
We thought it was gonna be the trilogy though for the
I mean,
longest time, and it ended up
yeah.
just being the first one. Do you think we'll get the second and third one before the fourth?
Faux show.
I think
Yeah.
this is a bold prediction, but I think number 2 is going to be the holiday game this year. I really
That's
do.
what I think too. I agree.
That's
I hope so.
probably a good point. I think there's a chance that Prime 4 could be next year's holiday game, maybe, if the trilogy, because the third one would come out early next year, and then Prime 4 would be late next year, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then Prime 4 would be their big holiday game for next year, which would probably be a $70 title, but whatever. I mean, it's really hyped up.
I'm down to drop $70
Yeah.
on Metroid Prime 4 as long as they finally give it
Yeah,
to me.
for real. I mean, like, I have my issues with Prime, and I only played the first one so far, but, like, it's still not, it's still good. I mean, I don't,
People think I have issues with Prime. I talked about one tiny thing for 2 seconds in my video, and everyone was like, maybe you shouldn't play Metroid anymore. And I was like, guys, it was one thing that I had an issue with. I was
Don't
crazy.
I mean, I think
Don't listen to the haters, Josie. I will say this, yeah.
You're getting
When it comes,
people on that all
oh,
the
yeah.
time.
now I will say Metroid Prime 2. If any of you get a chance to play Prime 2, and when it comes to Switch, all I will say is that game is 10 times harder than Prime 1
Oh,
because you've
man.
got 2 worlds to explore instead
oh,
of 1.
man.
Oh,
There's
don't
a
say
dark-
me like that.
Oh, man.
There's
I'm
a
so
dark.
looking forward to you leading me through the whole thing on stream, Nintendo.
You
Memories.
got
You better like
You
follow
got it.
my Twitch, because I'm gonna be streaming that and I'm gonna need help. I played the entire first game on my own on stream, and it took me like 20 hours or something. It was so bad.
So, and I was reading the reason why they incorporated the Dark World aspect in Metroid Prime 2 is because they actually got one of the people who worked on A Link to the to come work on Metroid Prime 2, and that's one of the if you don't know, A Link to the Past had a Dark World,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you, that Zelda, the person from the Zelda team from A Link to the Past said, I know what would make Metroid Prime 2 different. Dark World, and by the way, there's dungeons too, and you gotta find keys, so that's great. so yeah, so there's that too. So,
Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Okay.
yeah.
Like the first one took me forever. Okay.
Nintendo
Right.
Memories, we can jump on a Discord call next time I go live, if that comes out, and you can just walk me through the whole thing.
I feel that, dude.
I'll have such a
Okay.
good time, and I'll give it a raving review. I'll be like, as long as you've got Nintendo Memories right there leading you through the whole thing, perfect game.
Yeah, subscribe to Nintendo Memories.
And but I will say it's a lot. It has been a lot of fun to lead you through those games like Fusion and Metroid Prime. It's just really. I'm eventually gonna speedrun Prime 1 on stream at some point, just because I know that game like the
Dang, man.
And I want to now that the remaster is out, I want to do that again, and it's I'm looking forward to
I'm
that.
I'm really
Whenever-
excited
there.
to see that.
I was the same with Josie, as Dread was my
Yeah.
introduction, my real introduction to the Metroid franchise. Because like I dabbled with Super Metroid, but I have the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, and it's on there. But like I don't know, I just messed around with it. I never committed the time because I was like, I don't know. So like,
So brutal. So absolutely brutal.
so
Killed myself with that game. I was literally raging. My poor roommate. God.
I 100% Dread though, because I loved it. I refused 100% Prime remastered because it took me forever just to get. I got like 60 some percent, I think, done in that game on my own.
I've only ever 100%ed 2 games in my entire life, and I loved both of them. It was Shredder's Revenge, and it's because that game is so short, and then Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and it's because I played it 5 times.
Dang. I don't want to name.
I've only
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when it comes to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I've only, in terms of 100%ing, I haven't gotten all the puzzle pieces, but I've gotten all, like the letters, like the K, like that's
Yeah,
Kong, because I remember playing through Donkey Kong Country Returns for the first time, just as a little kid on the Wii, unlocked that golden temple at the very end. I'm like, how do you find these rare orbs that it wants you to do? And then I was like, oh, you have to go back and collect all the K, the O's, the N's, and the G's to finally get that. And so I was like, okay, so I remember that torture I went through with Country Returns. They've got to have some kind of purpose. in Tropical Freeze. I'm not. I'm gonna from the very get go. I'm gonna collect the K's, the O's, the N's, and the G's just to see what you unlock at the end, and it was worth it. What do you get if you like get all the puzzle pieces? Because I never thought they really had much of
I
a
think
purpose.
you unlock a hard mode.
Really?
Hmm.
That's it?
Yeah.
Do you get anything?
Yeah, you don't get a lot for the.
Do you get anything for all the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild?
Yes, you do. And you
Wait.
don't want
Oh wait, I know what it is. I know what it is. Never mind. I remember what it is. Because one of my buddies did it before. I'm like, yeah, that's not worth it.
Isn't it just the OG? It's the OG costume.
No. No, it's not that.
That's for completing all 120 Sheikah shrines. You basically get a giant pile of Korok poop.
Yep. And it's gold. And it's
That's all
gold.
you get. That's all you get.
And I got it.
Josie, look it up when you get the chance. Right, you should. It will make you laugh hysterically.
Best reward ever.
I remember
Yeah.
my friend did it when we were in high school, and he was like, "Oh, it's so worth it!" Like blah blah blah. Like I'm having the best time finding all of them. And then I remember we were all like, "Oh, how's it going?" He was like, "Well, I did it," and then he like never talked about it. And we're like, "Oh, somebody's upset."
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I would. See, they could have done so much more with that 100% reward. Like maybe a secret final boss. I don't like anything.
Anything.
Like anything. other
I
than
hope
that.
they do something better for Tears
But
of
yeah,
the Kingdom.
Josie, had you never?
What now?
Me too.
Imagine if they bring the Koroks back. That'd be so
Oh,
insane.
Oh god.
Well, you know they kind of already have because you've gotten
Oh,
the glimpse
Yeah.
that Rock with the backpack on his like. I gotta reach my friend, and like if that's one Korok, where are the
Oh,
others?
man.
Where
Oh,
are
I
the
got.
other 900?
They might. If the reward's better, at least that'd be then sure. Let's go
So
for it.
funny.
But
Why forget the
Never catch. I
900?
didn't even finish all the shrines. Literally, when I was playing it the other night, people were like, "How have you not done this shrine?" And I was like, "I don't know, guys. I did the bare minimum.
I want to say
I
Had a
tell
good
you
time.
one.
Bare minimum in Terrytown."
Yeah, I'll tell you a very entertaining thing you should do, Josie, is do Trial of the Sword. That's really.
Yeah,
I tried that,
I
and
wanna
funny
do
enough,
that
I
shit.
never even finished it. I died a few times, and I was like, eh.
There,
eh.
there's a Skyward Sword call. I won't spoil it, but there's a Skyward Sword call back at the very end, where it makes me think that there's a certain Skyward Sword character that's coming back in Tears of the Kingdom. I won't spoil it for you guys, but I think it's the spirit from Link's Sword and
Oh,
Skyward Sword.
oh
And
yeah.
just from
People have talked about that.
just just from the tiny bits that they've shown, like in the delay announcement, when you saw that small little thing with Link pulling out the ruined Master Sword,
Mhm.
it has a blue, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
glow going on. Like we haven't seen that since Skyward Sword, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know
Honestly,
HMK
though,
talked
I'm
about
just-
that before. The sword thing. It's like it makes sense because we haven't seen the sword actually. Have we seen it break before? Like before this game?
No,
Yeah. So no, yeah, that makes sense. then.
no. The last time we've seen a sword completely break and destroyed was Minish Cap, which really isn't a big 3D game, but like that's the goal of Minish Cap is you're reforging this broken blade.
I have not played
yeah,
Minish Cap. So.
Me neither.
Best top-down Zelda game of all time. You should.
Hmm.
Yeah, I still gotta play it.
I gotta play that. No, I'll play it on stream. Do that one.
Yeah.
I started it.
Yeah, you started it. I remember.
I gotta
You got-
finish it.
yeah, you got through the first dungeon. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was just a lot of like going back and forth, and I was like, Jesus, I can't do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say it is kind of getting harder to guide you through certain things, Josie, because now your chat is so full of people, and
It's
so
crazy.
you know.
I know. I was looking for your stuff today. I was like, Nintendo Memories, help me out, and everybody is just flooding it
It's
with
crazy.
shit. And I was
What's
like, what's going
hilarious?
on?
Like, did you not I remember like at the very start of your stream, you had to go through this passageway in like the reactor core room, and I was like, go through this passageway, and literally my comment went, shit. Just it was like,
Oh man.
I
It
need to
was-
make you a mod.
Yeah,
so
make
I
him a
can see
mod.
your chats
It'll be easier.
probably yeah,
Or you could just
You're at
tap
most of my
it.
streams anyway. I'll make you a mod.
yeah. Just do it at this
Mhm.
point.
If you need a mod, I'll be your mod. I'll try to beat out all your streams too.
Or you
Yeah.
could also just be in a Discord call with her.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking for next time.
It'll be like
If Prime 2 remastered comes, you'll be on.
it'll
that
be like
train with
those
me.
secret missions where like it's like someone in the art has like special forces or something, and you're on the other end. Now do this, do that. You know, like in those movies. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Just the guide of the whole mission. You know.
And I think, well, I will say this: like when it comes to like knowing these games like the back of my hand, the reason why I do is because of the memories of the frustration first time going through.
Oh, I believe
Metroid
it.
Prime frustrated the
Oh,
first time I went through that game, and the reason, like, first time, like, thankfully I had my dad with me the first time through. I mean, he's still a gamer, but he doesn't play as much as he used to. But I remember when I was like a little kid, like going through Metroid Prime for the first time, and my dad kind of showing me a little bit around. And then it got to a point where he didn't know what to do anymore, and so I kind of had to figure it out by myself. And I was like, how do you do this? And yeah, and so finally there was, and literally the format of Metroid is you just magically stumble across the answer, and then you feel stupid, and then afterwards I'm just like, yeah. So
I streamed today when people were like, "How did you not know?" And I was like, "God, Jesus Christ! How am I supposed to know that there's a secret passage in this wall that I've been jumping against for hours?"
you never played the game.
Yeah.
So when I was
they were like, "How do you not know where to go?" And I was like, "You guys are
They don't
insane."
understand.
when I played Prime Remastered,
Love
there
it.
was a point when
Love it. It was just,
there was a point when I was playing Prime Remastered, and I got to the point where you get close to that invisible boss, like the boss that's invisible or whatever. And so the last
Yeah,
save
that's
before
crazy.
that was a little
Right.
ways back, and I wasn't picking up all the healing items from the enemies on the way, and so I got to that boss and I died.
bad call.
And I lost 45 minutes of progress, and I just was like, yep, I'm done for the night. I can't take it. I'll come back.
Oh, that's where you lost the first.
I'm about to blow y'all's minds already. That boss that will disappear, the Omega Pirate. So I know, because I remember I was watching you, Josie, whenever she was going through it the first time, and how it can spawn space pirates and how it will get annoying. Something that you can do is whenever it turns invisible, ignore the space pirates and just turn on your X-ray visor, and when it appears, just shoot it with super missiles, and it dies in 5 seconds. I guarantee you.
That's what you told. Because I remember I was frustrated with it for the first like couple times, and then you were like, "You just got to do this," and I was like, "Oh, easy," and then I got through it real fast.
Yeah.
It took me.
But
I remember the final boss. It took me like a good 10 minutes before I found out you had to stand in these puddles to shoot him.
yeah, that's something I remember my first time going through the game. I was like, what do you do here? Like,
Because it said you have to use a
nothing's working. How do
specific
I,
kind of like missile or whatever, and I'm like, okay, what is that? I had to look it up because I did not know what it was. Like I thought those puddles would hurt me. Like if I stand in that, I'm gonna get hurt. You know?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was going through that same thing, and then I was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And then my chat was like, "You gotta get in the puddles." I was like, "Oh shit." Okay. and then I figured it out, and it was not hard, but like you gotta.
So
crazy stuff.
here's a question: do you guys think we're gonna see Metroid Prime 4 this year?
No.
I think so.
Nope.
I
Well,
think we're gonna get a trailer, but I don't think it's gonna.
if we
be-
do, it'd be the direct in November, right? November we usually get one, or is it September? September.
September.
Yeah, September.
Yeah,
And it would be a
September.
very small tease. Very small tease.
And the reason why I say that is because once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I think they gotta start teasing something else that's big.
Yeah.
Some
I
other big title. Because
That's true.
Well, I think in June they're gonna
I
push.
forget there was
I think in June they're definitely gonna push Pikmin 4 a little bit with another trailer. I don't know if they'll have gameplay in there or not, but since Pikmin 4 comes out in July, that makes sense to push that, and then they'll show the next Mario Kart expansion. They'll show the Well, no, they don't show Pokemon in Nintendo Directs. That's a Pokemon Direct. Never mind. Xenoblade. I don't remember what else.
I mean, they'll push it, but the thing is Pikmin isn't very
No.
big.
yeah.
It is big. I love Pikmin, and it has a big, loyal fan base, but it's not as big as everyone thinks it is. It's like very, very niche. So we gotta have a big one, and I think, like you said, Nintendo Memories. The thing that makes the most sense is Metroid Prime 4.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
just
Because I remember like
go ahead.
before Metroid Prime or before Tears of the Kingdom started to get that, before we got that first big teaser for Tears of the Kingdom back in 2019, the last big game that we got was Smash Brothers. Like after Smash Brothers released, they had to start teasing something
Mm-hmm.
else, and that something else happened to be Tears of the Kingdom. Once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, they've got to tease something else. Probably
You
gonna
think
be
they're just
Metroid
gonna
Prime.
show us? They're gonna be like Metroid Prime for the same exact like just logo, but maybe we see Samus's face in the back, and everybody's freaking out.
I think honestly they're going to, because I don't know if you guys have seen Retro Studios' like Twitter banner art, but
Yeah.
they changed it a while back, and everybody thinks that that's like concept art for Metroid Prime 4. And if that's true, I could see the first teaser going, because it shows Samus in like this dark hallway, and I could see the first teaser being like a long camera shot down this dark hallway, and suddenly a shadow emerges, and there's Samus in her new Metroid Prime 4 look, and then it just fades out and it says more info coming soon. I feel like that's something that they do, like for the very first
That's the most Nintendo move they
Yeah.
could possibly pull.
for the very first teaser. That's all they'll do. That's all they'll do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's not even guaranteed that it'll come out holiday of 2024, but it does kind of make sense. I mean, I think Arlo had said something when he talked about Metroid Prime that, oh yeah, they're going to release all three probably, and then we're going to see Prime 4 soon after that. And that makes sense to be holiday 2024 to be Prime 4, because what else do they have before their next console? That'll be probably their last big Switch title before their next console, which will be something similar to the Switch.
Yeah, and speaking of the next Switch, that's not happening anytime soon. People need to
No,
shut up.
2025.
People need to shut up.
2025 probably. At least that's one thing.
That's what
Yeah.
I said, and everybody are.
If they wait till like
Because-
2026 or 2027, I will be very confused. If they don't at least give us like an upgraded Switch, not the OLED, just
2027 would be
Yeah.
wild.
10 years.
Us in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I made a wild prediction on a video I did a long time ago that it could possibly be 2027, and the reason why I said that is because Nintendo said in the beginning in their investor call that they wanted 10 years at least of life out of this system, and if the Switch came out in 2017, 10 years later would be 2027. So I'm not saying, I mean, if we're getting closer, 3 more years.
Well, if they do that,
Yeah.
I think that next 2025 that they gotta do like just an upgraded Switch. I mean, we have the OLED, but I mean like 4K on the TV, 1080p in handheld kind of thing. Because I mean, you got the Steam Deck, and look at that.
I think what they're gonna do is that they're going to announce the next console, maybe at the end of 2024. It'll come out late 2020 to mid 2025, but they're still gonna support the Switch for
Yeah.
a good like 3 to 4 years after that.
And I could see, and it very well could be that maybe in 2027 they completely cut off support for the Switch and they completely move.
Make it backwards
over to
compatible.
this next-
Make it backwards compatible, maybe too. Whatever's next.
Yes,
It has to be.
Yeah.
Please.
It has to be.
something. I'm actually working on the script for a video right now about Nintendo kind of building their own version of Disney Plus in a way, and I think another reason why they'd be holding out on this next system is, one, I think they're trying to build a steady launch lineup for this next system like the Switch had, because we had a really steady amount of releases
Yeah.
for
Great
this.
couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah. And so when it comes back, I think I go back to Nintendo Switch Online, which arguably is up for debate whether or not it's good or bad right now on the Switch.
So worth it at this point. I don't know. The
I
backlog,
think
immaculate.
I think it's because of all the stuff that you're able to play on it now. I think it's very much worth it. But you think about it, like when they announced NES games, they slowly were drip feeding those games out, right? And then when they announced SNES games, they slowly were drip feeding those games out. And they did the same thing for N64, and they seem to be doing the same thing for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. But let's just say hypothetically, eventually we get GameCube games, and they slowly are drip feeding those games out. And then maybe, and you could argue they're already beginning to port a lot of the best Wii games over as well as the Wii U games. I think eventually all of Nintendo's best of their libraries from NES all the way to current will be available to play on one system, and I think that's something that they're going to push with their next system is, hey, guess what? Yes, you can play it as a more powerful machine, 4K on the TV, 4K on handheld, hopefully. But not only that, you'll be able to play all of Nintendo in one place. NES,
That'd be wild.
N64, GameCube, Wii.
That sounds
That'd be
like
wild.
Insane.
true.
You know, I mean, I really would
No,
sell
I
it.
completely agree. It makes
I
the
really
most
think-
sense. Yeah, sorry, I was just saying, I think it makes the most sense because why else? Like, it's not like they're gonna build out this whole thing, have it for 2 more years, and then just shut it down.
Mhm.
You know.
Hey, there's no way.
No.
So I completely agree. I think you're dead on.
Yeah, because the Wii U and 3DS are officially shut down now, so there's literally nothing else now except the Switch. So it makes complete sense for
Yep.
they're having such big success right now with their online service that I think that they might raise the price a little bit once they get into like Wii territory and stuff, but it's still
I'm not looking forward to that.
it's still fine because it's like, can you imagine like just paying one price to be able to play Wii Sports and like all these classics that some people don't have anymore and stuff? Like Wii Sports alone, if they announce, yeah, Wii Sports is going to be in this as well, like people are going to flip out and be really happy because Nintendo Switch Sports, well, although fun, it's very disappointing.
Yeah, I actually in the beginning was super hyped for Nintendo Switch Sports, and then I saw a lot more of the gameplay, and I was like, this looks like a cheap knockoff of Wii Sports. Like they did, like it's like they tried to port Wii Sports over to Switch, but they didn't do it all the way. Like they basically just put like instead of putting like their 110% into bringing that kind of life and spirit from that game into this. It just feels like it's half baked, and it just didn't fully like.
Half baked.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. I never picked it up, unfortunately.
Them and their sports games. The sports
still have
games
my
are
Wii.
always. Speaking of, that's even more references. There, in Mario sequels they could do. There's Mario Strikers. There's, Mario Party. There's
Mario
Mario
Golf.
Golf. Like there's so many references they could throw in there.
I think it'd be so funny if they made like a college movie starring like Luigi and Mario, and they just threw a massive rager and they just called it Mario Party. So good. Like in a
Fantastic.
frat or something. Oh my god, I'd pay so much money to watch that. It's like Monsters University.
Monsters
Holy
Yeah.
cow, so good. Just massive.
We
college
are
movie.
what? Oh my gosh, we are a month and a day away from Tears of the Kingdom. A month and a day.
I know.
I can't believe that.
If you really
Man.
want to be specific, I've had a call me crazy, but I've had a countdown going for the longest time. And if you really want to be precise, if my phone will load, it's not loading the thing. Where's it at? Okay. Yeah. We are currently 4 weeks, 2 days, 7 hours, 6 minutes away from the game. There you go.
I think I'm gonna go pre-order. I haven't even pre-ordered the dang game. I think I'm gonna go pre-order it from GameStop actually, because I want to see if they're gonna do a midnight launch. Because like I'm curious how that'll go. You know,
Yeah.
because Pokemon was crazy. I didn't make a
So-
video on the Pokemon release. I wish I would have, but Josie did, and well, I didn't sub to Josie till I found your video on the Game Awards, which was right after that, and then I watched that, and there was tons of people at GameStop for Pokemon. There always is, but Zelda,
Kind of popped off.
I think Zelda, there's gonna be a lot of people. I think they'll do a midnight launch at GameStop stores for it.
Yeah. There's people saying that there's going to be a Zelda Direct this week, and I don't see that.
I don't see it.
I really don't.
No.
People think it's gonna be on the 12th, so unless it gets announced in literally like 8 hours, it's not happening.
No.
Right, and because it's very clear, Nintendo and the the Zelda team clearly wants like nothing spoiled about this. Clearly, nothing. And they're doing their absolute best. And even Aonuma, that at the end of that gameplay demonstration, said there's even more abilities and stuff that we can't even show. in
There's
this
no
10-minute
reason for
segment,
them to
so-
show us anymore. The 10 minutes gameplay was enough. Before that 10 minutes, we thought maybe we might not even get any more. But I and a lot of people felt like we needed at least a little bit more, and we got that. We got enough. We don't need any more for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
The thing is that I think they should do a little bit more. Like if they could show us maybe dungeons in this game, maybe how this overworld is different from Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild. I think it'd be great, but I think that's probably gonna come with like a tomorrow it's releasing kind of thing, or we could get this direct, but I
But
don't
you
think
already
it's
know
gonna
though.
be
You said you
direct.
beat. You said
I don't think it's
It might
gonna
be
you already
this
know though
Sunday.
because you said that you beat Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Remember? You said that like 3 times on your one live stream. I think it was your live stream.
When?
It was one of your live streams. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You're.
You can't hold things I say on my live stream over. I
Yeah.
just don't even remember shit. Like, sometimes I'm so delusional when I go on those, and I'm just like so exhausted.
Just
and
wait till
I
you wait till you
my
have like
friend's what do you think of
wait till you
this?"
have like 1,000 people in your chat or something. That's gonna be overwhelming.
It's gonna go fast.
Yeah.
I could barely keep up with it today.
These mods over here will have to keep it in slow mode and stuff. It's gonna be nuts. My comments really will be gone. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just not gonna comment. I'm just gonna watch. Or something, you know.
Yeah.
Something.
You better hope you're still. I mean, congrats on your growth, Josie. But if you're at like 10,000 subs by the time Metroid Prime 4 comes out, and their chat is just going, just like all over the place. Whatever,
She's
like,
gonna hit 10,000 within the next
I'll
6
have
months.
you on Discord. I'll have you on Discord, Nintendo Memories. And
That'd
you
be
can
fun.
just lead me through the whole thing. I'll have the best time.
That'll make it so much easier. People will be like, "Who's this person talking?"
Metroid's a lot.
People will be like, "Who's this person talking to you?" A mystery man.
Yeah, we can like mystify you. Can we be like, God is speaking to me right now of how to get through this game? And at the end, I'll be like, by the way, guys, and I'll shout you out. It'll be such a good time. You'll get some subs. I'll get through the game easy. It'll be a great time.
I'm 5 away from 500. It's insane. Thanks for the shout out today, by the way. That was like, that meant a lot. Thank you.
I'm gonna go try and make a couple people sub to you. We gotta hit you. We gotta get you to 500.
Yeah. Actually, this is something I'll tell you guys and anybody who's listening right now will find out a couple days before. But I've actually found out that the voice actress who plays Zelda is actually coming to a convention
Mhm.
quite close to me, and so I'm actually gonna get to go and
Yeah, that's so
actually
cool.
meet her, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I heard about that.
So
You should try to
Yeah.
interview her.
Yeah.
That'd be a fire video.
yes,
That would
and
be.
that's the thing. I got a VIP pass to let me get in an hour before the doors open, and so I really
Nice.
hope.
Cool.
I really am hoping that maybe I'll get a chance to. It would be a dream come true to get to interview her. She probably won't be able to answer any Tears of the Kingdom questions, but who cares? I'm gonna
Yeah, I mean, if you post,
Yeah.
you post that video and you're like, interview with Tears of the Kingdom, like, person developer thing, you'll get so many. Plus, it's on the
Yeah.
hype cycle to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
blow up like your horror
Mhm.
ones.
That was so unexpected. I was like, and people were still looking at it during Christmas time. I was like, okay, that's just weird.
They're such good videos. I went back and watched both of them, and I was like, holy shoot. They're
Yeah.
just like produced very well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm working on a mini Zelda retrospective documentary type thing. It'll be released towards the end of the month, and I've been working on that for about a month and a half.
Dang,
Can't wait to
that's
release
super cool.
Nice.
it. It's,
Yeah.
so,
Next
Yeah,
month I'm
so-
probably gonna meet Charles Martinet, so that's cool. He's gonna be at Motor City Comic Con here in Michigan,
Yeah.
in Detroit. So I'm really excited to meet Charles Martinet. So maybe I'll.
That's
Should
awesome.
video
Yeah,
that.
I might video that too. Possibly and see.
also, did anybody manage to get their hands on the Tears of the Kingdom OLED?
I did.
Yep.
I decided not to get it.
Yes.
So yeah.
And Josie will get a laugh out of this, but there was a podcast I was trying to record with her that kind of just went to shambles, unfortunately. But I told a story in that podcast about how my dad managed to get me, brother and sister, a Switch the night that those pre-orders went live, as well as a Breath of the Wild special edition for all 3 of them.
Cool.
So, I don't know how he managed to do it. So when that Tears of the Kingdom OLED trailer dropped, I immediately sent it to him. I was like, any chance you can just keep an eye on this while I'm at school today? And he's like, yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. And then he
That's
texted me
cool.
like an hour later, like, I got that for you. I was like,
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, my mom was a wizard with this one, like the Tears of the Kingdom one. She was like, oh yeah, I got it from Best Buy, like blah blah blah. And I guess she's like a member at Best Buy, so it took her to this special page, and then she was able to get it. It was like, thank God.
yeah. Because right now I'm finding out that you can actually still get it, but it's like I feel like the closer the game gets to coming out and the more hype that builds, because right now Nintendo's like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Nintendo's just not showing a lot.
Anything.
So
They're not making as big of a deal out of this right now as Breath of the Wild was,
Yeah.
back in 2017. So I feel like when the game actually is out and the word of mouth really spreads, like, oh wow, this game really is a sequel to Breath of the Wild and not DLC, people are gonna go crazy.
I will admit one thing. I may not have gotten this Switch, but I work at a grocery store, Meijer. It's similar to Walmart. They're only in like 6 states in the U.S. And we have an electronics section. So when that Switch comes out, there's no pre-ordering at Meijer. So like, if that Switch comes out, and I will just walk over there, when Zelda comes out. If I walk over there and I see one, I might be very tempted. Because
If you find a Pro Controller, snag that.
oh, the
right
Pro
away.
Controller, yeah, I figured I'll probably be able to get that the day. Wait, when do those come out? The Pro Controllers? The end of the month?
May 12th.
I don't know.
Is it the 12th?
I think those come out on the day of release.
Oh, the day of release.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, by
Not in the carrying case.
Also, I don't know if you guys are interested in doing this. This is something. It's not. This is if you're really. I don't know if you guys are really interested in doing this, but one of the things that I did is I don't know if you guys know Switch Force, Zach from Switch Force.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he made a video about other games and how you can basically get them early and be able to play
Yeah.
them early. I kind of did that with Tears of the Kingdom. I downloaded the Australian version. I'm gonna get to play it on May 11th, and I can't wait for that.
Wow.
Let's
Uh,
go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Vlog.
I gotta get the physical version. That's
Yep,
my whole
yep,
thing.
same.
yeah. I seriously was debating whether or not to get the physical or digital version, but I was just like, I don't know. I really want to play it the second I can.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe I'll get a physical version and just.
I wasn't gonna get the deluxe edition, but I'm gonna see if GameStop has any pre-orders, and I'll probably get the deluxe because the steelbook. I don't know. And I want the Link amiibo as well.
That's what I did with Prime. I kept it sealed.
Yeah.
It was like this game.
Yeah. That's probably what I'm gonna do because I mean it's a Zelda game. I feel like
hmm
yeah I need. To
Josie's just gonna get no viewers for once, just because everyone's gonna be playing Tears of the Kingdom.
That's the thing. Like, cause I'm planning on.
Yeah, so am
streaming
I.
it, like on May
Yeah.
11th.
Me
and
too.
And all that, and I feel like because so many people are gonna be wanting to dodge spoilers, I'm just gonna be streaming it. And I'll be the only one.
Yeah.
playing, and like
No
nobody
one's
there.
gonna be
I'm
watching me.
Yeah, no, low-key my plan is to stream Mario Kart the day it comes out. So everyone's like, oh, I want to play Mario Kart. Let me join stream. I'm like, perfect.
Nah, that's a solid idea.
So
I'll probably stream it the week after it comes out, so that like people want to see my reaction and they're not being spoiled.
hmm
yeah, and for the record, I'm probably gonna put like a spoiler warning. Don't click on
Yeah.
this unless you just don't.
Did
care,
any
which I'm
well
sure there's probably people out there. who don't.
Nintendo Memories? I'm assuming you played it, but I don't know if either one of them did. But Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we know all about that. I was expecting it. I thought it was gonna lead right into Breath of the Wild, but I was wrong. Like, it's a different.
Alternate
Yeah,
timeline, actually.
yeah.
It is confirmed. I don't know if you guys have played the DLC for Age
I
of
didn't.
Calamity, but it is confirmed to be a
I
canon
have.
game. It is a canon game. There's things that happen. There's certain flashbacks to certain characters happen in the DLC that basically point to okay, yeah, this game is a canon game and not just a what if story. So
Okay.
Hmm.
That's cool.
I've heard a lot of people say it wasn't canon because of character of a little guardian kind of
yeah.
just messing
Yeah.
up.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, there's a bonus mission in the DLC for Age of Calamity where you have to basically save Kakariko Village, and it's Link, it's Impa, and it's Daruk and Yunobo. They're both all of them are defending Kakariko Village, and whenever you finish it, Daruk asks Yunobo like, "How did you become this strong?" And then it flashes back and it shows Link from Breath of the Wild, and he says, "Fought alongside a hero that taught me how to be this strong," because the two of them went up to the Divine Beast and took it on together, and he has those memories, and so clearly it kind of takes place after Breath of the Wild at some point. So I'm really interested, like if we go into like Sidon, Yunobo, and all of them, in Tears of the Kingdom if they'll have any memory of
Yeah.
Age of Calamity. I'm really interested to see if they have any memory of that. Yeah. So.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Do you think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna get DLC?
Duh.
Yes.
Yes and no. One of the
Gonna get,
reasons
like a
why.
master mode.
Yeah, I feel like that could be one thing, but two reasons. You know, Al Numa said in that gameplay demonstration that development is complete. If he said that tells me that they don't intend to add any more to it, if that makes sense. But if you go on the Tears of the Kingdom website and you scroll down like to the very bottom, it says in bold capital letters, full game is required to use DLC.
Mm.
Bottom of the page. Go do it. It's
You're probably just referring to the base game being complete then.
that's the only reason why I would say that it could possibly happen. But I will say if they're gonna do Breath of the Wild DLC, if they're gonna do Tears of the Kingdom DLC, I think it needs to be a little bit more than what they did with Breath of the Wild, because I enjoy Breath of the Wild's DLC, but it just I feel like it could have been in the
Wasn't
main
it
game.
the
Like
what?
if you play Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild
wasn't
DLC,
it the second DLC that had the actual story, and the first DLC was the other stuff? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Because if you play Champion's Ballad with the rest of the game included, it feels like a full story to me. It really does. And so I'm hoping that, you know, if they do something like that again with Tears of the Kingdom, that you can enjoy the game without it. Like the story doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like if they do it, it's a really cool extra feature. Like it's worth the money, because the last couple, because the DLC for Breath of the Wild felt like it could have been in the main game. It really did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna literally title my first stream of that game just "No one's gonna watch this." I'm just gonna title it that, because that's literally just what's gonna happen.
Speaking of which, maybe this is just a suggestion, but maybe change the title of this podcast now, because we're
Yeah.
going on a side
Yeah.
tangent of like
Mario
everything
movie
Switch related.
and the future of
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Mario
All
movie.
right. Yeah.
Mario movie and the I love
Yeah.
it.
Plus,
All right. Yeah. I have to edit everything afterwards, anyways, because the thumbnail and all that nonsense messed up, and I need to.
yeah.
I messed up again. Well, the next one would probably be June, if I had to guess, after the Nintendo Direct, since there'll probably be a lot to talk about there. Plus there'll be, honestly, maybe we'll wait till after both the Direct and like Summer Game Fest and all this other stuff, and we'll just like do one big one. I don't know, you know, because there's gonna be a lot in June.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I'm not gonna watch Summer Games. So I have no interest in Summer Games.
That's totally fair.
I'm sorry. I'm really.
I'm
I
gonna
just-
stream it if
Yeah.
I'm doing absolutely nothing else, but if I have anything else to do,
You'll just be playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. And yes. Tears of the Kingdom will have just come out, and it will have been out for like a month, and I still feel like we're gonna be like putting hundreds of hours into it because it's such.
I have other games in June that I want to play too, but I play too many games. I don't know. Like the new Street Fighter's coming out, and the Diablo 4.
yeah,
And
that's
then
exciting.
like mid to late June is Final Fantasy 16. So like, yeah, I have those games in June. So June is kind of crazy too, because I'm like, I want to enjoy just Tears of the Kingdom, and then I'm like, all these other fun games are coming out. So I'm like, I don't know. I play too many games.
Yeah, I will say though, like, you know, I've heard a lot of people saying that after Tears of the Kingdom, that they're worried that Nintendo doesn't really have anything after that, and to that I say no, because like Nintendo's got to start hyping up the next.
I mean,
thing
they're
soon.
just
Zelda
gonna
comes out. Like,
make good money.
Zelda-
They're gonna make good money off of remasters anyways and stuff. Like they're gonna do Metroid Prime 2 and 3, but we also gotta think about, hey, we've been talking about Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker HD for ages now, and they're in HD on the Wii U. So like, easy port.
They'll probably come after Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom. I just assumed that they didn't want to complicate.
I think those will be 2024 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be this year.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, this first half of 2023 is like the best first half I've ever seen Nintendo do in a long time.
Mhm.
Oh, we just lost Jen. Where'd he go?
Oh, he's back.
He's back, just no camera.
He's back.
Maybe.
But yeah, this is the best first half I have seen in a long time. Like when they opened the year with in January with Fire Emblem
Mhm.
Engage, they
Yeah.
bust out February with Metroid Prime Remaster and the Game Boy and Game Boy
Yep.
Advance,
And
and
Kirby.
and
Yeah.
Kirby.
Was that March? No, yeah, no. Kirby was February.
Yeah, Kirby was February, and then I think they had something in March. I forget they had some.
Bayonetta Origins.
Oh.
Is that what that is? Okay, and then in April they gave us the Mario movie, and then May we're gonna get
And
the
Advance Wars.
Advance
and
Wars. Yep.
Advance Wars, and that's coming out
Yep.
very soon.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that game is.
and then in May we're getting the biggest.
Yeah. I don't know if Advance Wars is for me. I don't know if the gameplay. It's better than like, because I'm not into Fire Emblem, but it's not that kind of gameplay. So I might check them
I'm
out.
so hyped. I haven't even played one, but I love the art.
I don't know
style.
if I'm gonna play it right
First
away.
time on
I don't
stream.
know. I'll watch you stream it and stuff and see what I really think, if it's something I want to get or not. I mean, it comes out the same day as Dead Island 2, and I've waited like a decade for that, so I don't know. And then the new Star Wars game comes out the end of the month, Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Fallen Order. So I'm like, oh, well, video game after video game after video game is coming out, I guess.
Yeah.
It really feels like we're finally starting to get a lot of these projects that have been pushed because of the pandemic. Like you go back
Yeah.
to 2020,
Yeah.
so many games were pushed and some outright canceled. Like I know a lot of Star Wars fans were really bummed about like there was a remake of what is it, the Knights of the
Yeah,
Old Republic.
yeah,
something like
that was
that
announced.
game ended up getting completely. Yeah, that was announced in like 2019, I think,
Mhm.
and then it just got completely like just scrubbed because of 2020. So
Yeah.
I was really worried. I was really worried that Zelda Tears that like, we knew it as Breath of the Wild 2 at the time, but I was really worried that Tears of the same thing was going to happen with Tears of the Kingdom like, during 2020. I was like,
Yeah.
so many games were getting pushed. I
We
was
had
like,
we had nothing.
where does that
We
leave?
had nothing from Nintendo that year at all, really, except for like a mini
I was
indie.
stressed that Advanced Wars was just gonna get outright canceled because they were like, we're not doing this because of the thing in Ukraine, and I was like, oh
Mhm.
crap, like that's not gonna end for. Sadly, I mean, I obviously wish, but like, that's gonna go on for a while. So I literally, when they announced that Advance Wars is actually coming out at like the last Nintendo Direct, I was like, yes, thank
Yep.
God, because I thought that game was absolutely gonna get lost to
Mhm.
time.
People were worried that that was going to be like a 20 like that for a while. I think somebody saw like I guess on Nintendo's financial thing for like they had like a placeholder date of 2026.
Oh,
And
man.
people were worried people were worried that it was going to be pushed like long way off, and I was just like, part of me is thinking that seems like a placeholder. I feel like there's no way they'd hold a game like that for that long. That was supposed to be
Especially
out.
when it was literally done.
Yeah, that game was supposed to be out before Metroid Dread, I think.
Yeah, it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be like a September release, and then Dread was going to come out in October. Like both of those games were going to kind of release, and that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Didn't
Yeah.
happen.
I still have yet to play Bayonetta 3, and I really want to play it still.
I know.
I've
I
nev-
gotta do that too. I haven't played it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt some people, but I've never really been interested in the Bayonetta series. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
It just has not grabbed
That's
me.
fair.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just like,
fair. That's how
Yeah.
I was, and then I saw the first game for like $30, and I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. And then I played some of it, and I really liked it. I think I finished that game. No, I think I have like one more thing to do in that game, but I fell off because Splatoon came out right around when I was doing it. I was like, all my
That's
time's
another-
taken.
That's another thing we could potentially see very soon is the Splatoon 3 story DLC that they keep teasing and won't show anything.
It's so
Yeah,
insane to me.
Yeah, like, because I was totally expecting to see it in that February, in the February Direct. Like, we saw
yeah.
it.
I'm back.
You're all good.
Welcome back.
Yeah, but I was expecting, to see, like, when they opened that Splatoon segment, I was like, okay, here we go, story DLC. And we got it, barely.
They
Like,
said, look at, you can play Splatoon 1 now in Splatoon 3. Wow.
Mhm.
And also, the story DLC might come at some point. Look forward to that. And they just
Yeah,
moved on.
and they didn't even say it's 2023, which
Yeah.
means I know. Like they said it's coming soon in the future.
I still never got Splatoon 3 either. I played like 60 hours of Splatoon 2. I played like 100+ hours of the first game back on Wii U, but I never got the third game.
I had like 400 hours in Splatoon 2. Splatoon 3 sitting at
Man.
like 990 right now.
Yeah.
I've slowed
Splatoon
down a
3's
little
fun.
bit.
I've really enjoyed Splatoon 3 and the quality of life improvements that they brought to
I
it.
love it.
It's
Splatfests were always a joy.
The
so
story mode, phenomenal.
I believe it.
yeah. I will say this: what they should do because now there's 3 teams you can choose in the Splatfest. Something that they should do for Tears of the Kingdom in the celebration of that game's launch, they should do a Splatfest where it's power, wisdom, and courage.
Ah,
pieces of
that'd be
the
good.
power.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
They should so do that.
They might, because sometimes they like to tie stuff in. Like for the Pokemon game, they did. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Here's hoping that you Pokemon fans get something better than what was in that presentation.
I'm still gonna play the
Yeah.
DLC.
I consider myself
Yeah.
I consider myself very mild Pokemon fan, because like this stuff is just disappointing. I was like, where is everything? I don't know.
I have grown up with
Yeah.
Pokemon,
Bit
so
old.
yeah, since like Ruby Sapphire days. So I'm like, ugh. Scarlet and Violet's fun, but I'm like, even those and Sword and Shield, it's like, I don't know, like story wise. And then the Diamond Pearl remakes were disappointing, and I got the double pack for that because Diamond and Pearl were my favorite as a kid, and I'm like,
Yikes, those are super underwhelming.
yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. It's like ever since the 3DS. I mean, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were so good. They were such amazing remakes, and Let's Go on the Switch was okay. I mean, I get it. Pokemon Go, like it was like a big thing, and they wanted to.
I kind of like
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it was all right, but I don't know what they're gonna do next. I mean, they're probably gonna do a remake of Black and White. I'm just hoping that it's. I hope they intertwine Black and White 2 in there, because I didn't play Black and White 2, but I heard they're way better than Black and White, and I hope that they just combine it all in there and make it really good. But I don't know. There's mods for the Diamond Pearl remakes of people making it 3D, and it's like, oh, that's what it should have been. You know, it should have been 3D, like Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I had fun with Scarlet and Violet, and I'm done with those games, kind of. I played them to death. I have like 70+ hours
Yeah.
in them, and I had a good time. But I've just kind of moved on. I'm ready for the next big Pokemon thing, but I'm also ready for that to come out in a good 3 years, so it's actually really good.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I do agree. Like, because my sister's a really huge Pokemon fan, and one of the things that she was telling me about, she's like, because she's played a heck of a ton of Pokemon Violet, and she's had lots of fun with it. And I told her, I was like, "Are you ready for the next Pokemon game?" And she's like, "Yeah." And like, she's like a lot like you, Josie. She was like, "Yeah, let Game Freak take their time, though,
Yeah.
please." Yeah.
I don't get why
because-
Game
yeah,
Freak
remember,
won't.
I told your sister to play if she's a Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
I don't get why Game
So-
Freak.
I'm glad she's liking
I don't get why Game Freak won't. Why they push stuff out so fast? Why are they forced to do this? Like, I get, cause money, but they have all the money in the world for Pokemon. Like, they don't need to. They're making
Yeah.
so much money just off of this
also
stuff.
wish-
You know, like the cards. It's like they don't
Yeah.
need.
They should just.
Hmm?
Yeah, they should just use their resources smarter, because it's like Nintendo will literally help them out. Get Monolith Soft, get the
Mhm.
teams that know how to make open worlds, and have them work on Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Because, like if they actually want to make them good, I think Game Freak cannot be the main developer.
No.
Right. And I think they need to be willing to
Change.
that, and I think they need to be willing, if they need to make those announcement videos of saying, "Hey, we need a little bit more time,"
Yeah.
because the
Yep.
Zelda team is bold enough. Al Numa came out just with a regular video, just saying, "Hey, I know you guys expected 2022. We got to push it to 2023. So sorry."
Yeah, and then now.
You know, and it's painful at first, but eventually that goes away. You move on, and then eventually it comes here before you know it,
Yeah.
and you know it just
And
th-
it's
I
better
just
than an unfinished game.
Yeah. And you look at Tears of the Kingdom, and you look at when Link jumps off, and you see the world no poppin' at all anywhere. For Switch hardware to do that is so impressive. Like, we thought Breath of the Wild was impressive because that was when the Switch first came out. But Tears of the Kingdom is pushing the Switch to its absolute limits with what it's doing.
I think so too. And this is something, going off what you were talking about, D-Man, is whenever, you talk about that seamless transition between sky and land. That's something that the Zelda team's been trying to pull off since 2011 Skyward Sword. Like, out there's an interview out there with Aonuma, and he says, like, when he's talking about the development of Breath of the Wild, he said, verbatim, like, we wanted to make a very seamless world in Skyward Sword, but the limitations of the Wii prevented us from doing so, and that's why you have those, like, loading zones between sky and surface.
Yeah.
So now you look at Breath of the Wild and how open it is, and then when we saw that they're taking that whole vision that they had so long ago, they're bringing it back and bringing it full circle and really pushing it as the focal point of this game is just really cool to see.
I think that after Tears of the Kingdom, what they should do when it comes to a next big 3D title for Zelda, I think that they should go back to Toon Link. I do, because we only got one 3D Zelda game with Toon Link, and I really think that they should do another like that, because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you got Twilight Princess, you got so many games with just regular Link, and yes, you have a lot with the Toon Link, like on the 3DS and stuff, but I think we should get another like Wind Waker. Yes, we'll get an HD, but like, I just think that because Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, that we should get another with Toon Link in the future, on the next system or whatever,
Yeah. When it comes to having another Wind Waker, there originally was supposed to be a Wind Waker sequel, but people really pushed back in the very beginning with Wind Waker. They're like, this looks too kid, because they before Wind Waker was revealed, they showed off that tech demo of a realistic looking Zelda. And people were like, we want that. And then instead they got Wind Waker. And in the beginning, people were just like, what is this? This looks like kid garbage. Like, we don't like this. And then eventually then they followed up Wind Waker with Twilight Princess. And that's, people were like, you go back to Twilight Princess reveal at E3 2004, I believe it was. That was like one of the most epic reveals of all time. If you go back and look at some of like the old reaction videos of like the press conferences, it's really, really, really cool to see. But the reason why you have like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks is because Aonuma still wanted to make a sequel to Wind Waker, and just found another avenue to do it, which was the DS, unfortunately. But the stories in those games is very underrated in my opinion. I love Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I can only imagine how much more epic those games would have been had Aonuma been able to make them on a regular console with the same mechanics, and it wasn't touchscreen. It would have been so much more on an epic scale.
Yeah, I think their next move after Tears of the Kingdom needs to be a step in the traditional side, just to make sure they're still engaging that audience. I would be very happy with another they call them 2D Zeldas. Like the
top-down Zeldas.
Yeah, 2D Zeldas. So I'd be really excited to see like an original one, because I really loved Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening was a lot of fun.
Link's Awakening DX was a great time. And so even if they would keep a similar art style, do whatever they wanted to do, reuse all the assets in this game and just make a fully new one, I think I would love it. And I think it'd be very beneficial to make sure that audience is still engaged and interested. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the next step, I think, after Tears of the Kingdom.
Another one like that would be good too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like Tears of the Kingdom, another reason why I'm super excited for Tears of the Kingdom is that I think this is going to be the grand conclusion of that storyline.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're not going to revisit this. They're not revisiting this world again after this game. There's no way that they are going they got to move on to something else after this. I do believe that the open world aspect is here to stay. I really do feel like that's. I think that's something they're going to keep in mind. I think they're going to find a way in this game to start merging traditional and open world together.
Yep.
I think they're going to start that with this, and then in the next
and I think
game,
that whatever they
out, it'll be fully realized.
And I think whatever they do next, they should take aspects, even if it's not Toon Link, just take aspects from Wind Waker with the sail, like going on the water, going from place to place. I think they should do that with islands and stuff, but fully open world. Make it more explorable, but with different islands and stuff, you know. So merge like what Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do with what Wind Waker did back in the day. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
I got nothing else.
Vibes.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm tired. I gotta work.
Yeah, it's like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah. I've got to. I have class in like 7 hours. Yeah, I probably.
Nintendo
Oh,
memories
jeez, man.
really taking us.
Yeah, man, oh man.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
bruh.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's only 2 classes that I only have today, and so I can like take a good nap afterwards. So it's fine. But yeah.
All right, this was fun.
Thanks for the vibes, guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
Problem.
We'll
Yeah, this was
probably do another sometime in June or something, you know, after the
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct,
Cool.
whenever that is, such. So,
Yeah.
all right,
let's hope so.
links will before we leave. Just tell everyone where they can find you. Start with Nintendo Memories, whoever rewatches and such.
Yeah. So yeah, it's you can find me on YouTube, Nintendo Memories. You have to type it. It's a capital N and a capital M, Nintendo Memories, and I'm also on Twitter as well. Same name, Nintendo Memories. But if you want to follow me there, you can do that as well. And so yeah, Nintendo, Zelda content all the time.
Jen?
Awesome.
All I pretty much have is YouTube. I don't post that much. You can pretty much find me if you spell out Sony Gen 99 with a capital S, capital G, no space, and then a 99 at the end. It'll be my channel will be the first thing to pop up. I make a lot of Sonic content, but again, I don't post that much anymore. I do plan on streaming Tears of the Kingdom if you guys wanna like tune in for that. But yeah, that's me. Sony Gen
Everyone knows who
99.
Josie is. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Josie.
Nobody knows who I am. You can subscribe to me if you'd like on YouTube at Josie Woh, JOSIEWOH, like whoa. You can check out my Twitter, same name. I post a decent amount over there and give my little hot takes on stuff, so you guys can get angry at me or agree with me. It's a good time.
And you're gonna be going on
Um,
Twitch soon again, too.
Yeah, subscribe if you'd like.
Twitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back to Twitch soon. It's also.
Oh yeah,
season 3,
congratulations on the
Check me out.
YouTube partnership. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can all be there one day.
Yeah, also, just yeah. Last thing I will leave you with for me: subscribe to Nintendo Memories. He makes really, really good content. Honestly, some of the best on YouTube, and
It is really good
insanely
editing. You do
doesn't
some
have
really good
a
stuff, man.
1,000 subscribers.
You do some really good
Yeah.
editing for sure.
Thank you.
So I want you to have me on my. I want you on my channel so bad. I just like every single time we plan something, it just frickin' falls through. It makes me so upset.
It's okay. I know. You had proposed me helping you out with something with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Is that right?
Yes, let's make a video. I'll DM you.
There you go.
Wonderful.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. The links will be in the descriptions below, and their channels are also